Okay, well, I think we're going to have to rock and roll. So the first thing I'm going to have to ask you to do is all, apart from Stephen, mute yourselves. I have not got the facility to do that. So I'm relying on everybody to mute themselves so we don't have any background interruptions. So that's May and Emma, please. And anyone else that's not muted. Just May, I think, left with that background noise. May, if you can hear me, if you're really there, please mute yourself.
Hello, sorry. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Mate, please can you mute? Go on mute, please. Okay, that's lovely. Okay, great. Well, welcome everyone to what has not been the best of starts to the Three Counties cross team meeting. We haven't had one. It's the first one, I think, this year, due to various reasons, up with the kickoffs, etc. And it has moved from the second Monday of the month to the third Monday of the month because Steve Critchley has deemed it that he's going to do GL to SGL on a second Monday of the month, which is where we were. And Davina, who's not here today because she's on holiday, can't do the second Monday of the month anymore. And as her and myself and Heather run this meeting, this need to be moved. Anyway, first thing, just to introduce myself, I am Jeff. To the people that don't know me, there are quite a few people here from I think from up north rather than Three Counties, from Cheshire. I've been in the business for it's my 21st year. I'm STL in the business, very close to GL. Looking forward to celebrating that. I think unfortunately it will be just past Power Up. We have a very special guest this evening that I'll introduce in a minute. Before I do that, what we like to do at the end of this meeting is to have a short recognition part. So I'd like people in the chat to put in, people that have been to this meeting before will know that it's since our last meeting, so that's basically this year really, that have either joined the business, become QD, FTL, TL, STL, GL, SGL, qualify for holidays, anything that you've done that needs or should have recognition, please put it in the chat, and then at the end of it, hopefully I'll have had a chance to tot everything up. Maybe my wife would like to do that. Yeah, excellent. Okay, so Liz will do that for me. That's good. Okay, great. So I don't know what the format was set with Stephen. Stephen Constantinou. I think that's right. I have to pronounce it. I don't even know what your true position is at NHQ. Unfortunately, another thing, we can't record this because Heather's not here. So apologies for that. But Stephen, please will you introduce yourself and take it away, really? Because I don't know what format we were supposed to do.
Yeah, no, thank you, Jeff. Yes, I know. Firstly, afternoon, everyone. You know, I'm Stephen Constantinou. I've been speaking to Heather. We've been, I guess, sorting out a number of accounts, and she invited me along just to talk a little bit about myself, who I am, what I do, some focuses that I've got going on within my department, some things going on in and around the business also, to give you a flavour of what's happening down the head office. I think reason being is I recently moved into the partner area of the business in March. So being locked down, it's been very difficult for me to meet anyone, introduce myself. Sorry? No need for it. Sorry, I'm having a bit of trouble hearing you if you're asking me something.
Okay, Alan Hyam, can you please mute? Alan Hyam, if you can hear us, please mute. Thank you.
Well, that's for me. Thank you. So, yeah, it's been quite difficult for me to meet people, introduce myself, and get familiar with faces and names, etc. So I thought I'd pop along today and just to say a massive hello to everyone. Bit of background about myself. I've actually worked at Utility Warehouse for nearly 10 years now. Finished a psychology degree in university. I guess why that's relevant is I've always had a passion for working with people. Planned on doing a master's, so when I joined HSBC, thinking I'd made it in the corporate world, which definitely isn't all it's cracked up to be. And following being made redundant, came across utility warehouse as, if I'm honest, a bit of a stopgap until something bigger and better came up. And I think quickly being introduced to utility warehouse and the way it works in terms of its approach to customers, its approach to partners, and how passionate it was with people, it straight away just fitted with how I like to work, how I like to think. And I'm on the phone. I started as an energy advisor, so my role was helping customers with energy, helping partners with energy. Really exciting, and I guess due to hard work, I've always seen utility warehouse as the sort of business that you get out what you put in. And I guess for my journey at utility warehouse, that's fairly true, because after working hard in energy, I was promoted to a team leader in our home movers department. So I spent 2 years in home movers, kind of helping develop a lot of the processes that are used today, the systems. I know there's still some sort of intricacies to the home move world, but help working on a lot of the customer journeys that we have in place now. Spent a year and a half working in home movers, and then moved into what then was known as general customer service, and looking after what then, for the users that will remember, was CSDA, otherwise now known as Phone a Friend. And that was my kind of first real closeness, working with partners and get familiar with that, which again thoroughly enjoyed. Was part of launching the new cashback card, launching insurance products. So a real good opportunity working in general customer service. After another 2 years there, I moved into a senior manager role in energy, which spent another 2 years in energy, which were extremely exciting. There was just over 300 people in the department. We just launched smart meters. So, I'm sure some of you would have shared the journey that we all went on with some of the learning curves that we had as part of smart, which I'm sure we're seeing improvements now, but there was a lot of work being done by me and my teams in smart and promoting them to customers and figuring out all the systems and the billing behind it. And then that took me up to last March, where I guess the one department I hadn't actually worked at in the business was the partner side of it. So an opportunity came up. They was looking for what my job title is, which is Senior Partner Operations Manager. And essentially what that means is I'm responsible for looking after the teams that are responsible for looking after yourselves. So I currently look after, I'm sure you all know Derek Stiles and the partner service team. So any calls that you make into that team, I'm working closely with that team. Sean McManaman, Jackie Knight, Emma, so our relationship leaders, I'm sure they all support you. So I look after that team as well. And recently, I've taken on the customer onboarding team. And I guess it's useful to share that information because that's one of my biggest focuses at the moment. I guess one of the biggest bits of feedback that I get from yourselves as partners and many partners is particularly around those customer onboarding journeys, especially when they don't go as smooth as we'd like. Classic example, can't locate electricity supply numbers. I'm sure we've all come across that, and it sends out letters, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done sometimes by yourself and by customers, and then getting the information we need to get the supply live. So firstly, what I want to say is thank you to everyone for the help that you give to us and customers. Never seen anything like it in anywhere else I worked or anyone else that I know. So it's really helpful to have you all on board with that. Also, I want to call out for anyone that's tried call customer services recently. You may have experienced slightly higher wait times than you're used to. Want to start by saying apologies for that. We're almost in a perfect storm at the moment. We're upgrading to a new cashback card, which hasn't been as smooth as we wanted it to be, but we're moving over to the new version because it's a better and stable product. And also the great news is the business is extremely growing again, which has meant that we've had to really ramp up on our recruitment activity to support the amount of new customers that we've got coming through. So I think there's two things that, just to call it out, that's why firstly a big focus of mine is all those customer onboarding journeys. I want to make sure that when you're submitting applications, you're getting customers, that we're doing our bit and making it as seamless as possible. So things like sending out information saying we need to locate a supply number, I'm hopefully developing a team to get to a point where we're basically picking up the phone, phoning the customer and saying, hello, welcome to UW, can't wait to supply you. Could you please just confirm your meter number for us? And then there's little involvement for everybody, but we get what we need. We're not sending the customer away to ask British Gas to update those details so we can take it over at some point. We're very much taking ownership and in control of that. And that's just an example of all those journeys for every product that we'll be looking at to make sure that it can be as seamless and as less time consuming for everybody as possible. The recruitment activity is really exciting. So we never worked remote as a business until we went into lockdown, and we adapted to it fantastically. Really proud of the team. I can remember on the Friday before we went into lockdown, I was in the office all the way up until the Sunday, handing out nearly 2,000 laptops so that on Monday it could be business as usual. So really proud of the team. We got through it. We also did so well that we won an award at the European Contact Centre Awards. We won an award for responding to our customer in a crisis. And we were one of the few companies out there that were actually able to operate pretty much business as usual, but still at that point deliver exceptional answer rates, which was a massive achievement. And we was also shortlisted for responding in a crisis for our people. We did a lot to engage our staff and motivate and recognise and incentivise with remote working. So it was a massive achievement to be shortlisted for that. I guess coming back onto what that means in the context of recruitment is because that's gone so well, we're offering fully remote contracts, which is really exciting for people because it means that we can actually offer positions. You know, we've got call takers in Scotland right now, and we've got call takers in Cornwall, opposite ends of the country, and it's going really well. I guess the challenge and the thank you in advance is for everybody's patience, because while we're on that journey, wait times will be a little higher. Some of the people you speak to may be a little newer, which means they might not deliver information sometimes 100% accurately. They might not even deliver it confidently. But what I'd say is don't be nervous to say, look, I'm not sure if you're new or not, but could you just explain it to me a little more? I don't quite understand it, or you just didn't sound too confident. Because we want to make sure that you're confident in the information that you're getting. And if you're not, then we do have escalation routes. We have myself, we have Sean's team there, so there'll always be someone that you can go to. And we're really committed with the recruitment activity. The company's got two big focuses at the moment, or one big focus is on growth. You know, we've really got a win-win mentality, and we want to offer products and services that customers can get value from, can benefit from, are simple, and therefore easy for yourselves as partners to promote and do what you do, so that then the business can grow. So there's a lot of focus on reviewing our customer services approach, reviewing our products, reviewing our processes. Got some really exciting IT work streams where I guess one of the themes is, what can we do that's going to give partners more time back to be partners? What's going to make it easy for customers to understand their bills and what they're doing? So that kind of theme is time at the moment, and it's looking at how we can give partners more autonomy, more empowerment, more ownership over your businesses and how you run it and the information that you've got available to yourself. So there's some exciting stuff coming, and I'm hopeful over the next few months as that stuff comes, you'll see it and we can share it. But I guess as a head office, we're all just really excited now. There's been a lot of stuff in the news about the energy crisis. So I know that we've sent out a lot of information as a business, but just really want to take this opportunity to say that as a business, you can be confident in the fact that we are stable and secure. That's because we're not just an energy business. We are multi-utility business, almost 5 businesses rolled up into one. We offer a great product. We're sensible in the way that we buy that product at wholesale to make sure that we're not caught by any nasty surprises. We factor in growth. You know, we're very sensible in how we do that. So when you're talking to customers, you can be confident that you represent a stable UK-based business. But from a head office perspective, that's the buzz. We're starting to return back to work a little bit as well. So it's been exciting to see some partners coming into head office over the last few months, and we're starting to see staff back. Me personally, I was looking forward to getting back on the pool table and the coffee machine for those that have seen it, but most importantly to see some friendly faces. So I guess that's a quick I guess whistle stop tour where we are as a business. Yeah, my name's Stephen. I said I look after the partner operation team. That is partner services. That's customer onboarding. So I guess for me, personally, I'm all ears for feedback. Right now, I'm like a sponge. Any feedback, I'll always say it to people, because people do say to me, I don't want to moan. Never ever be nervous about moaning. Biggest part of my job is feedback. If something can be working better, it's great to hear it. Something's not working, apologies, let me look at it, can we fix it? And if something's not clear, let's have a conversation, let's explain it. And those are the kind of general outcomes that I think comes out of feedback. So yeah, please, if you want any feedback, send it over. You can direct any email to me through the partner services or the partner support inboxes, and I'll always give you a call or respond. But also just thank you for everything that you do, your enthusiasm, your efforts, especially help your customers at the moment. And it's been nice to meet you all.
Yeah, I have to say to everybody, Stephen absolutely doesn't mind you moaning. I for one have had quite a few, not moans, but constructive criticism, shall we say. And Stephen's been absolutely brilliant. So, you know, he's definitely one to note. I think he's taken a load off the shoulders of Sean, haven't you? So you know, he's really good. So anyway, and another thing I'd like to say is concerning, you know, you saying about the meter numbers, when it was always a real frustration, and I know not just for me, but for, you know, if it's for me, for everybody, when they can't trace the meter number, you're going back to the customer to tell them to go back to their company, and it's just a trauma for everybody involved. And they're saying, I thought you did everything. I have to say that's actually beginning to work now. I had 2 recently who meter numbers couldn't be traced, and you know, it very quickly UW said, it's okay, we'll get in touch, we'll find out, we'll get the number, and they have done, which is like such a relief. So
no, I'm pleased to hear that, because we put in some quick fixes in the customer onboarding team in the last few months just to address that. What you used to find was our systems can't automatically take over the suppliers because it can't find the supply addresses. So then we'd be saying to customers, can you ask your provider to update it?
Mhm.
Now, not, you know, I don't know how other providers work, so I won't talk down of other providers, but from a, you know, I can't imagine that most providers prioritize their work stream that would see business leave it. So, you know, I can understand why it takes some time, yet we've been able to do some things that if we can confirm meter numbers ourselves, there are on occasions and more often than not things that we can do in-house. And that will just get more slicker and easier as time moves on. Like I said, if we can be reaching out to customers ourselves, just to give them a nice warm welcome from head office and confirm a piece of information, then again, it becomes more seamless. So, but no, Heather, nice to hear that that's working already. So thank you.
Yeah, it certainly gives the customer, you know, once you've told the customer we do everything, and then you go back to with the first problem, kind of, and now that's going to be eradicated, it makes it a lot smoother. The customer believes us more. It's a smooth transition, so that's great. So I'm sure there's some questions for Stephen. So if you'd like to put your hand up, your reaction, and then we not have everybody at once, and I can jump on who's who. That'd be great. Sure, there's some questions. There always is.
I've got a question.
Hi, Laura.
Hello.
Off
Is
you
that
go
okay
then.
to ask?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a few customers recently, new customers, that have wanted to send an email to contact head office, and then they ring me up and they say, I can't find the contact us button. Where's the contact us button? And they get really confused. I know when you go into the customer app, it's under support help center, but lots and lots of customers are actually looking for contact us and they can't find it, and then they get really ratty and they ring me up and they're on the phone and, oh, I can't email anybody, where is it? And it just seems like quite a simple thing to have. It feels a little bit out of place not being there.
Yeah, no, it's a really good point. And I know on the corporate website it's a lot easier to find. I will definitely take that point away and feed it back, just to give you some of the thought process behind why it's set up the way that it is, especially for customers that are using the app. We make the assumption, I guess, that they prefer to self-serve where possible. So the whole point of it going sort of through that support channel is so that hopefully they can get exposed to some of the FAQs, maybe even find the answer themselves before they're needing to go all the way through to contact us. It's also a bit of a call deflection strategy as well. So where we are busy, it encourages customers, to more seek the answer if it's covered in our FAQs, as opposed to going straight to, where's the number, where's the email, let me send my question in.
Yeah, I just think that a lot of people, they would email and ask the question, but instead, because they can't find where to email or email quickly, then they ring through.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
There are an awful lot of FAQs, but I mean, undoubtedly there has to be, doesn't there? Yeah, David, over to you, David.
Okay, thank you. In the good, I must say I'm of an age now where I would class it as the good old days. You were able to download the previous partner app, which had the presentation and all bits of goodies that you could obviously jump into, as in tariffs and the customer presentation, the customer guides, that sort of stuff. We haven't got that now, and the problem that I've had occasionally is if I've been in front of a client and we have a very bad mobile signal or their broadband is not working like we would like it to because it's not ours, I can't get the Join a Lumley video to play, and also the video for trying to get them as partners. I think that's a big mistake, that we can't have that actually physically on our tablets and have total confidence that pushing the button, Joanna will spout all the pearls of wisdom. Because at the moment, I'm always on edge thinking, will she play, will she not play? Have I actually got to do the Joanna presentation all on my lonesome?
Yeah, no, it's a fair point. I haven't, unfortunately, got an answer for you on that now, other than I can take it away and feed it back. Yeah. There is a lot of development work going into the app at the moment, and I know it was kind of, you had the old app, which was pretty much like Portal, and you could do anything and everything on it. And as that's gone away, the new app, which was initially tailored to new partners with the Fast Start program in the early days, is evolving. What we don't want is it to feel like a disadvantage or a lack of confidence that something's going to happen. The plan is to get a lot of this stuff in the app. Like
I have no confidence whatsoever in the current app. I don't use it. I kind of point my new recruits to it, but I think it's a total waste of time.
No, I think that's a fair point. I will acknowledge that with the app being regularly developed, it was almost, we launched something with a plan that going forward, piece by piece, more and more would get released into it. But I can completely take your point, and I know there's a lot of people that would be very interested to hear that view. Because what we don't want is people not using it because there's nothing in there. Yeah. But at such time comes, there will be. But then with the lack of the video, the op, etc., don't want that to feel like it's holding yourselves back as well. So I will raise that. Actually, there's a meeting on Thursday that I can raise it in. So thank you.
Any other questions?
I had a question on the contact form. Very often when you send things in on the contact form, you get an acknowledgement immediately, but you never get told when whatever you have asked has been activated. And I find that has been quite a problem, especially with a number of new customers where we have filled in the form and the customer has requested that the ID has authority on the account. A few weeks later, you phone up and somebody at head office says, oh no, you haven't got authority, it's not there. And then you have to start all over again before they'll even talk to you. Because most of our customers don't want to hang on the phone for head office, they want us to be able to help them. And when we do get acknowledgement from the contact form, very often they don't even give the customer name or the customer number. It's just too airy-fairy for my liking.
Yeah, no, thank you. So I'm just making a note of that because there's two responses to that. So firstly, from a customer service point of view, I think there's some feedback for quality there for some of our correspondence team, as in I would expect them to detail such information when they're responding to yourselves of what account or what customer it refers to. So I'll take that piece away, but that's really interesting to hear. Secondly, on your point about getting authorized on an account, this is something that I'm currently working on, and it's actually gone as far as just waiting for our legal department to sign off some of the rules and regulations behind it. But again, the feedback that I've got quite a lot recently is that yourselves will phone in to support a customer and regularly get met by the "we can't help you because of GDPR or DPA rule." So what and because we're looking at privacy and security laws and all that sort of stuff, what I've done is proposed a process, and just to give you the kind of, shortcut on it, is essentially the customer will always have to email or write in, or call to let us know that they would like to authorize yourself on the account. We would also then pick up the phone or respond and ask for who they want to authorize, and we capture a password. Nice and simple. As soon as that's done, we'll send out an email acknowledgement just to state who's been authorized. And when you phone in, all the advisor will say is, "What's your name and do you know the password?" And if it's correct, then you'll be able to discuss the account with no problems.
Wouldn't this be an awful lot easier if this information could be included in the application form?
It can be, and that's, I'll be completely transparent with yourself. That is an idea that we have floated many times, but from a data protection point of view, it's not secure enough for it to satisfy the regulations behind capturing that information.
So where the customer fills in the personal data that you can't see or that we can't see, could there not be something to say that they give us authority to act on their behalf? That can't be done?
The short answer is not right now. So a similar idea to that, but the overall hope for something like that is that eventually there will be somewhere, for example, in the preferences or settings sections of the app and the login, where the customer can literally, once their account's set up, they can go in, log in and do that all themselves without the need for contacting us. The process that I just said again is just is almost a quick fix, just to stop that roadblock and just to stop those occasions where you're phoning in and the information hasn't been captured properly. To get something in the join the club journey or more of an IT solution in place with a number of priorities going on in the business at the moment, that's going to take a little longer. So we're kind of going to go for phase one, where the customer contacts us, we get the information and we accurately log it. So when you phone in, there's no problems. And as our IT work streams develop, and I guess we hit that point where it's now on the list and top of the list, then something a bit more suitable and I guess self-serving for the customer will be in place.
Okay, can I ask one more question?
Sure.
On the individual customers clubhouse, there's no provision for them to add additional services without phoning head office.
Yes.
At the moment, this is a major problem because it's very, very hard for anyone to get through to head office. And all of us have got many customers with energy only that may well like to go on a fix, but can't go on a fix unless they take other services. And they can't get through to head office to add on the other services, and they can't do it on the clubhouse.
Yeah, no, it's a fair point, and one I'll have to take away and raise.
Okay.
Like I said earlier, we all acknowledge how frustrating and long the wait times are at the moment, and the overall solution is we get to a point where we've got enough staff and enough staff trained up, experienced enough, and of course some IT development in place that means that wait times, we don't want a customer to have to make more than 1 or 2 minutes. That's the place that we're building to. If there's anything in the short term that we can do quickly to help, like self-serving on additional services, it's something I can highlight.
Yeah, we need that.
I think we'd rather get to a place where we put time, effort into hiring enough people so that that isn't needed, so that we can speak to our customers and make sure that we're offering them the right products and retaining them. But it's definitely a take away.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, I think, I mean, partnered with the difficulties of wait times, it's kind of imperative for people to be able to solve their own problems at the moment if they can. It's nice for us to talk to our customers, yes, but if they get frustrated in waiting.
Absolutely.
Stephen, I've got a quick question. I know it was mooted quite a while back that we were going to have, or customers were going to have a facility for live chat website. Is that anywhere near coming? Because that's really quite a useful way of someone contacting without having to hang on to a phone. And it seems to be that most large corporates have live chat now.
Yes. So yes, it is coming. Unfortunately, right now I can't tell you when, and the reason being is we recently ran a trial on live chat, and we trialed it out in our financial services and our technology teams. Some great response and great feedback from it, and that was shortly just after we went before we went into the pandemic. So again, not to use the pandemic as an excuse, but from a technology point of view, it was one of the facilities that we couldn't offer from a remote perspective at the time. Where we are today is it's a service that I know our partners are asking for as well for themselves within the partner services world, so it's being explored. The challenge we have at the moment is we still need to recruit people to man the live chat. So where we've got queues holding now, the risk then nervousness is if we opened up live chat now, you could have 100 calls holding, but those agents that take calls will also be supporting live chat, and then you'd have the live chats holding. So it could work against us at the moment, and we don't something that's received the great response, but then would just not go down so well because we've just split a problem across multiple channels. But it is still on the radar.
Fair enough. Another thing that won't, a lot of people on here might not be interested in, but those that are based in London, we sit and look at the portal, and there's opportunity presentations going on all over the country, and we haven't got any at the moment at NHQ. My nearest one to me is Gatwick, and it's not the sort of journey I want to make to an opportunity presentation, certainly this weather. So yeah, if you could feed that one back, that would be fantastic.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, NXQs open up. We were having people come in and groups come in weekly, monthly. So I'll feed that back. So I think that'd be very exciting. I think there was also a question put in about cashback cards. So we won't be going to new cashback cards with the migration from Visa to MasterCard. If anybody's received the version 3 card, which is the new purple card that you would have seen advertised, that is staying. If I can mention on the cashback card, because we've seen a lot of calls about version 3, a common thing we're finding, and we're looking at the comms to see if there's anything we can make it clearer. But a lot of customers don't realize that when they activate the new card, they also need to retrieve a brand new PIN. So the PIN that would have been on the old card is not the same as the PIN on the new card. So customers will need to go into the app and retrieve their new PIN. Not sure if you've come across that yourselves, but that's we've had quite a few calls about that recently. So yeah, just some information there.
Yeah, there seems to be a little bit of an issue with, certainly more than I've seen with the previous card, bearing in mind we were MasterCard, then we're Visa, now we're back to MasterCard. But yeah, I'm having quite a few people saying it's not working. You know, now I know it doesn't work at petrol pumps. You have to go into the kiosk, so I'm explaining that over and over, but it's not working. And in fact, it happened to me last week. It didn't work in a cafe. So, you know, it's a bit random. And I know that it's not working over the telephone yet, but I don't know what the time scale is for resolving those. Yeah.
I haven't got the time. I haven't got the timescale for when I think it's called Secure 3D, which is otherwise paying over the phone, is going to be released. It was meant to be released, I think, last week, but due to some bugs still identified, it's taken a few more weeks, but I expect it to be here soon. But it's something actively being worked on. Hard, without seeing any specific examples, hard to comment on people that have been unsuccessful at when they're trying to pay at various merchants. I think the last 3 partners and customers I spoke to, it was all because of the PIN issue. Now there are still problems, I know, but like I said, the most common fault seems to be the retrieval of the new PIN.
Yeah, no, I've got a few cases that aren't anything to do with the PIN. Yeah, it's
on that cashback card, I have, and my wife Liz has a huge issue, and I have brought it up at head office, but maybe you might have a little bit more say in the matter. But when Liz orders from Sainsbury's, I am the lead on the card, and I get the text with the 6 digits that have to go in to authorize the payment. Now, that's fine if I'm here. Come the summer, I might be on the cricket field. I don't have my phone with me then, and we won't get food. So it does seem crazy that if she's using her card, the phone text message should then go to the person that holds that card. And to me, that must be a very simple operation that presumably MasterCard have to deal with, not us.
I'll need to look into that. But yeah, no, you're right. You would assume that where you've got the partner card, that it would go to the number associated with that, as opposed to what seems to be going to yourself as the main card holder. I'll have a closer look.
Stephen, if I can ask a 2-part question, if I may. Firstly, when you get calls back from partner services or different departments, a lot of departments don't say who they are, don't say what customers it's for, and you get a message saying it's utility warehouse, we're calling you back regarding your issue. I don't know who it's for, I don't know who I'm going to speak to. Is there any way that, rather than, well, in addition to, if they're going to call the distributor, or the partner rather, can someone put notes on the partner account so they can say who the hell they were talking to in the first place? Because it's kind of crazy. If you want to help someone and you're expecting a response, you can't then go back to not necessarily an individual but the correct department if you don't know where to go in the first place.
Yeah, no, Paul, it's a really good point. I can feed it back to our quality and monitoring team.
I've had many conversations or many messages saying it's utility warehouse regarding your issue. It's not a lot of help when you don't know which customer it's for, and you may have 4 or 5 or more ongoing at the same time.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And why it's quite helpful to hear that feedback is it's not the first time I've come across it, and I made a recommendation to our one of our quality teams recently that we should potentially look at putting some voicemail training into our induction.
Would help.
I know, and it sounds silly, and I don't know if it was fully understood, but we don't actually train people to leave voicemails. And when I spoke to someone and I gave them feedback on a particular call, I said, "Why don't you leave a voicemail?" They went, "I just got so nervous." And sometimes I leave voicemails and I think, God, I must have sounded like I was waffling there. So I can understand advisors getting a little nervous, but Paul, it's a great point, and I'll use this conversation as a way of bringing that back to life.
I can fully understand that.
Yeah.
The other quick question is what Susan was saying about passwords and what have you. If you're going to set a password with a customer, it would really help if you told the ID or the partner, because when we go through having got the authorization to act, if we don't know the password, we're stumped.
Yeah, the customer is meant to tell you that password. So
yeah,
we can't,
nice if they do, but they don't.
And that's part of the data protection. We can't tell anyone the password. The customer is meant to say, "I'm going to give Paul access. The password is Smith," and they should be telling you the password is Smith. So when you phone up, you go, "My name's Paul. Password is Smith." And then, hello, Paul, how can I help? That's how that journey should go.
Okay, I'm going to have to get them, so I'm going to have to tell each person that wants the authorization to act to give me the password regardless of whatever they think they're going to give you. Just set one that we both know.
Yeah, basically that's it. The customer gives us the password. They'll say anyone that phones in, if you know, Paul phones in, he'll know the password and he'll tell you. So they'll give us the password, and that's how we will verify you. So we'll never ask you to confirm any customer information as a way of verifying that you've got authorization. Your name should be on the account. There should be a password held, and that's the best way for us to do it until, like I said, we've got some better self-serve or more sophisticated solutions in place. Like I said, there are some other priorities from an IT perspective at the moment, but that it should be as simple as that.
I did have 2 occasions when one of the or 2 different people have asked me, as they couldn't advise me the password, what are their bank account details? And as you know, we don't have the client's bank account details. It's a kind of a daft comment to have options offered in the first place.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you. That's me.
The other thing on that front, Stephen and Paul, is that I often take the first step and actually send a little text to the customer to put on the contact form saying, please authorize Heather to manage my account, make changes, whatever, discuss. And the password is, and I decide the password so I know it. But if they're doing it directly with head office, that means they have to phone, so they have to have an hour-long wait sometimes. Again, if the advisor, and it's just a little tweak in the training, if the advisor tells the customer, now tell your partner what the password is, because we won't. Because customers don't think it through like that. We know, but they don't know. So just a tiny little addition. Now, please tell your partner so that they know what the password is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Heather. That's exactly what I really appreciate you saying that as well. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Also a good idea that for you might get them coming back and getting a referral or passing referrals on. So it's another point of contact with the customer. So that's brilliant.
Absolutely, yeah.
I always set the password with my customer at the time. If they want me fully authorized, I use their road and the number they live in. So say they live in Green Close, we'd use Green, and if they live at number 23, they'd be Green 23, and that would be their password, and they would know that, and it's copied. They've got a copy of it, I've got a copy of it, so I store it, and then we'd send it on the contact form, as you said. So it's all done.
Yeah,
rather than have strange names everywhere or passwords of their daughters and their sons, it's easier to just give their road name and the number.
Well, that's why you get all sorts of things like Wiggles and Daphne, and that you've got to remember. So I now just use their surname. Whatever you use, but use something that's easy, because when you're on the phone, if you've got a few people to talk about, you're switching from one to the other. It's difficult. But on that subject as well, switch from one to the other, I now always say to the advisor, now please will you make sure it is noted on their account, because the amount of times you go back, oh well, there's nothing on the notes, there's nothing, oh, there's no note that they've phoned 3 times about the same issue. Lots of times people are dropping, maybe just because they're busy, but they're not putting notes on the account, which is really quite serious because there's no tracking.
Yeah, and from an internal management perspective, we manage that very seriously. So it makes up part of how we quality assess our advisors, how we manage their capability, and any further action that we take. So yeah, we definitely expect high standards when it comes to note taking.
Yeah, okay. I think it just needs to be reinforced at little mini trainings and feedback sessions and things, yeah, because it's quite a common problem, I think. I don't think it's just me.
No,
I've got another bit for you, Stephen. Bit of good news, really. Well, it was. one of my long-standing customers, who can be a bit of a pain at times, gave UW some huge praise when he said he was holding on for customer services, and he got a message, if you'd like us to call you back because the wait's so long, please press whatever. And he said it absolutely fantastic. We called him back, but we seem to have stopped that now.
Yeah, so it's still live on some lines. So I've got that service available on every partner line. So when you phone, you should hear that message. Where we are with customer service at the moment, and you know, I don't want to keep sitting here saying how busy we are, but it's so busy at the moment. What we've done is we've had to turn that facility off because we hit a point where so many people were waiting for a call back. The question was, what time would I advise to be able to log out at night? Because, you know, when that service is live, the guarantee is that every customer that's selected will get a call back that same day. What we didn't want to do is be calling back 2-3 days later and just constantly again be moving the problem down the road because there's so many people waiting to speak to us. So the idea of that function is there as soon as our wait times hit more than 5 minutes, that service is offered, and that person's position in the queue. If you're the 15th caller, you select that option. When your 15th call comes up, that callback is made, and it's great. At the moment, the wait times are pushing in excess of 20-30 minutes to some queues, so it's a challenge. But no, thank you for the positive feedback at the same time.
Yeah,
I
well,
actually had a call today, and they called me back within 2 minutes when I pressed that number 1 saying, "Can you call me back?" I was shocked. I couldn't believe how fast they called back. I could have actually waited. So it is obviously still available. I haven't heard it for a few weeks, but it was there today. And also, can I just add as well, because there's a lot of people talking about customer services, but although it's frustrating having to wait and things, I've actually been thinking about this logically. And I think, can you imagine if you were one of the busted companies, you've been forcibly transferred to one of the big 6 or something like that. They've got millions of extra customers coming to them all at the same time. How are their customer services are going to cope when they haven't had time to train anybody else up? They're getting loads of new customers, whereas ours have gone, and they've got loads of new people that are training up at the moment to try and keep up with it. So I think that we should really be, every time we phone up, no matter how long we wait, I think we should be really grateful that they're training new people up. They're going to get it sorted, whereas the other companies, I think, are going to be completely swamped and they're not going to know what to do with themselves with their customer services.
Thank you for saying that. Really appreciate it. And yeah, again, I'll always say it's great to do that. So thank you for your comment. But we do want to do better when it comes to those wait times, and
yeah,
we can. So you know, thank you for your patience. But it will get better.
yeah. I've had the option to press 1 quite a few times, and now when I get on the phone, I pray that I'm going to get that option, because I'm not kidding you. I've spent hours on the phone the last couple of weeks, literally hours. And then I've had a meeting, I've had to call off and then call back again. You're sitting there for another. And so you're saying, well, after 5-10 minutes, the option comes up. That would be perfect if that happened, because, you know, we're all busy people and we're all looking after our customers the best we can, because that way they'll give us referrals and grow the business for UW. So yeah, if you could feed that back, that yes, that option needs to be consistent, because at the moment it's an odd occasion that you get it, not consistent.
Yeah, and I think on the days where bills are landing or meter reads are coming in, there are days where it's challenging to keep that service on, because we simply can't get to the amount of calls that are coming through in a single day. But the aim is more often than not to have that service there available.
Any other questions for Stephen? Grab him while he's here. How's the move going, Stephen?
Sorry?
How's your move going?
What is my personal house move?
Yeah.
It's moving along. We're trying to view houses at the moment, and I don't know if we're being too fussy or if we waited that so long that we can be fussy, but we just you know, struggling to find something we like at the moment. But yeah, hopefully, you know, I want a house with a fireplace. They seem to be rare at the moment. So you know, fingers crossed by April that we'll be moving somewhere new.
That's for Santa Claus to come down at Christmas, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you will be in our area. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But yeah. Has anybody got any other questions? Well, we have the expert here.
There's another thing that I'd like to say actually about the website, if I may. It used to be that they used to say contact us immediately, or join or something like that. Immediately you go onto the website, and they seem to have moved that further down. But I still think that there's I can't even remember what it is now because it's been a while since I've been on there. But it kind of like forces you to try and get a quote or to contact them or to join up immediately before you've had a little look at the thing. So I think that should be further down, so that if you're looking at the website on the phone, it doesn't look like you're immediately trying to sign them up. It looks like you're giving them a little option to have a look at what we offer them, and then further down they get to the bit where they can get themselves a quote, or they can join up or ask for more details and things, if that makes sense. I don't know what anyone else thinks.
Yeah, no, absolutely makes sense. Again, let me take it away. We always get so much varied feedback on the JTC journeys and what people like, what people would like to see different. So we were really talking about this stuff, and we'll trial different things. But yeah, I'll add that to the list.
I'm always saying to people, I just scroll down past the bit where it says get a quote, to have a look at what we do first. And I shouldn't really need to tell them that, because if they didn't scroll down, if they were on the phone, they wouldn't know that all that stuff was there. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
We've had a question from Emma. Is it possible to have a router delivered to a neighbour? As I understand it, the answer is no, but over to you, Stephen, for the actual reasons behind that. So I think I know what they are, but
yeah, I mean the reason, the answer right now is no. Again, this is going to be something that's come up from time to time, and it's just part of our what do you call it? Our agreements with the delivery companies. So again, this is one of those things that we can feedback again, but we always want to be confident that the customer has got the actual product. So unlike some delivery companies where you can leave it in a safe place or you can leave it with a neighbour, we just don't at this stage do that service.
Can I just ask a question on that?
Yeah.
Is it possible? I've got a customer that's going to wait for their router. Will they be given a time when it might arrive?
Yeah, DPD usually send them a I can't remember what time it is, but DPD do send them a window when the delivery is expected. Yes.
It's only because I know that this week they're at work and they just wondered if it's possible to move it, or is that best to contact customer services to do that?
That would be according to customer service.
Okay, I'll do it tomorrow. Thank you.
yes, it can be moved. And if DPD give you a time slot, you can actually go into DPD's website and change the time or the day there.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
Anybody for any more? No. Okay, well, Stephen, it's been absolutely marvelous that you could come along and talk to us. We really appreciate it, because it's always good to get put a name to a face, or a face to a name even. You know, it's lovely how over the years you kind of know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
When you see them, yeah. So it does just give that extra link between us and head office. So really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And yeah, I hope everybody found it beneficial.
Yeah, no, thanks for inviting me along. More than happy. Well, firstly, thank you for all the feedback, both constructive and positive. I will feed it all back. And at some point in the near future, however, I'll come back to yourself with some responses on, you know, nice page notes and all the responses, you know, whether we can move forward with something when we're not, whether it's one for later, just so that the point's raised. You know, been heard and where we are with them. I'll drop you an email so you can share it with the team. I'm more than happy to come along at any time. If there's any burning issues or anything that you want me to personally hear, more than happy to hear them and come along at any point. So do bear that in mind. And yeah, no, thank you very much for today.
Right. Okay, Susan's asking if we can email you directly, or better, or is it through partner services?
I'm always people I don't mind. I'll say I'm always happy to give my email address to anyone. You know, if it's helpful. The only thing I'd say with that is I don't, you know, I have meetings and I guess my own role. So I don't watch my emails like a hawk as much as I try and get back to you as and when I can. But the most, I guess, the most quickest and easiest way is there's a partner support at uw.co.uk. Anything that goes into that inbox instantly gets forwarded to me. And if I'm out the office, I'm available in meetings all day, and you've got Sean McManaman, Jackie Knight, Emma, who are, you know, all knowledgeable and will get a response to you. So if there's anything you personally want me to look at, feel free to direct to that inbox. I'll always respond off my personal email anyway, or pick up the phone and give you a call, which is sometimes better and nicer, if that's helpful.
Right, now James Gardner had his hand up, but I can't see him now. Is he gone?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, you're there. Oh, you've just moved screen. Okay, James, over to you, James.
Oh, got video, I suppose. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were seeing the chat, so I just wanted to make sure that the points I put across earlier were being raised again. Essentially, I think we all want to be able to help our customers. It's just frustrating when we can't. So things like being able to add services. So even if it's just either another direct face-to-face appointment with our customers or over the phone, it's all going to help, and it all just helps reduce the calls then to head office down the line.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Yeah, and being able to see if there's any hurdles. So I mean, I know sometimes we do get emails, but not always. I think with the new cashback cards, sometimes they'll ask for ID verification, and we don't always know when that happens. So if we know, we can inform our customers.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. And so with the big company focus this year being on customer growth and partner recruitment, a lot of the IT work streams, a lot of the customer service initiatives are kind of have the undertone of, will it save partners time? Will it give partners more autonomy? Will it be better customer journeys? So you should see a lot of stuff coming out throughout the year. So we're looking at better sort of order status and tracking within the partner pool. I know sometimes you'll look at the customer order status and it can be a bit inconsistent at times. So there's going to be a whole revamp of the, you know, at some point of the customer status tracking. So you'll know, hopefully more or less in real time, what's going on with your customer orders. Part of the customer onboarding journey, a lot of the comms or any issue related to any of the products going live, there'll be a brand new comms journey around that will both go to the customer and yourself as partners. So again, you're all fully in the loop of what's going on. And again, any development we make, be it in the app or be it in the partner portal, will be so that yourself have more autonomy and empowerment to manage your business, manage your customers, manage your teams without having to phone us. As much as we love speaking to you all, there's things like commission statements we all love speaking about and issues that you'll phone us about, but that typical transaction stuff, you know, transactional stuff, sorry, hopefully at some point should be more in your hands.
Brilliant, thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Stephen. I think it all speaks of, you know, we're a victim of our own success, really. Talking about success, there's a little event coming up in a month's time that you should all know about, called Power Up, and I hope every single one of you has already got your ticket to Power Up. And also just to remind you that any new customers, any new partners that you bring on board, they get their cost of Power Up refunded on the day. So it's totally free for them to go and really get incentivized and, you know, enthused. So definitely get your new partners along, and in doing that, you'll also get your place to the, what is it called? God, brain freeze. Jeff, what's it called?
No idea what you're aiming at there, Heather. Say again.
The day's event with Tom Jones at.
Oh, right. I was going to talk about that. Yeah. So that would be.
So I'm going to pass
Henley,
over to Jeff now
Yeah.
and say thanks so much, Stephen, and Jeff will go and finish.
Okay. So I have the joys of talking to you about what a wonderful company we actually have and what they've given to us. Now, I would assume, but I'm not going to, that everybody here knows about the latest deal that we've been given with the broadband. For those that haven't, and one of my team who is near the STL, I hadn't got a clue today when I spoke to him, so there are people that aren't aware. We now have the best broadband deal on the market, along with the cheapest energy and market leading mobile. So as long as people aren't in ridiculous contracts, we can sign them up for everything and they'll get the best deal going. They won't even need everybody's saves because our prices are going to be guaranteed pretty much to be cheaper than what they're paying. So we've got Ultra now for a homeowner at £21.60, which is phenomenal. Okay, includes the landline rental for those that want to know. Now, I actually read on the day this was announced, and I got to say, I was totally gobsmacked at some of the comments that I read of people complaining that it wasn't for current customers. Well, I'm ever so sorry. I didn't make any comments. I didn't want to get into any rows with anyone. But if they did it for everyone, it would be a sure way of UW getting in a mess. It's for current customers. The company can make money at that level. They cannot make money at it if they give it to everyone. So just remember that. And it's a special offer. So what? It's a special offer. Our current customers, yeah, they might get cheesed off a bit, but they'll soon forget. And at the end of the day, as long as we tell them personally, in 18 months, it will go up to whatever that price might be. So Ultra Plus will go up to £29.69. Make it clear to them, we are acting differently to any other company out there. Okay? So that is really important. You tell them in 18 months' time, it will go up, and it will go up to whatever it is predicted to be at. I think it's a fantastic deal. And now we have full fibre 500. Who the hell needs full fibre 500? People think they do. If they want it, give it to them. All right, it's amazing. And that's only £39.60 for a homeowner or £44 for a tenant. Still pretty damn good. And in 2 years' time, that tenant, as long as they've been good and have paid their bills, will get it at the homeowner price too. So just remember that. So I think that is a fantastic scenario. And I'm certainly going to be shouting about it. Away from the services, Henley. It is a black tie event, so you might have to go and hire a dinner suit. But I think if you can get there, it's got to be well worthwhile. 8 points, including signing up a partner that does their training within 7 days, will get you there. Tom Jones, Sir Tom Jones, is the headline act. My wife tells me he's fantastic. I believe her. 20 points and 3 partners, and you can have 2 tickets. Or if you're fortunate enough to have a wife that is a separate partner, then you only need the 16 points and 2 new partners. But yeah. And if you want to get an overnight stay, 30 points and 6 partners. I'm sure there will be some people doing that too. So a great scenario. Go for it, guys. I highly recommend it. And then there's the double promotion bonus that was announced at the beginning of the year. It's a repeat of what happened last year. In other words, if you are QD or FTL from January the 1st and you get to STL, instead of getting £800 worth of bonus, you will get £1,600 worth of bonus. TL getting the GL is £5,000 worth of bonus instead of £2,500. And STL to SGL is a £14,000 worth of bonus instead of £7,000. So if there's anybody out there in those positions, now is the time to get motoring. There will be partners coming on, hopefully, for you really, really easy as the weeks and months go by, because of the situation out there. I can tell you now, most people still have their heads buried in the sand. April hasn't come yet. Wait till they get their May bills, and then there'll be people crying out to earn that extra £250 a month. All right. So that's me. I'm very, very excited about it, as you can tell. I'm going to hand over to Liz now, who's done me the amazing favour, because Heather was late in taking all the notes. And I will forgive you, Heather, it's all right. Okay, so I'll hand over to Liz.
Thank you.
Hello. So all we love to do here is recognition, everybody, and everybody loves to be recognised. So first of all, we'd like to recognise May, who's happy and close to her 20 group customers and aiming to be future team leader by Power Up. And also we have Tracy Maycock, who is a future team leader now, and she's been helped very much by Sandra Forbes. So we also have Jeff Lowe, who's reached the 50 plus club. 50 plus means that you can lock in all your bonuses, you can lock in your energy and your telephony at 20 plus and energy commission at 50 plus. Brian Staplecamp also is 50 plus club. And also Tracy Bravo, she's reached 50 plus club. She also has qualified for Centre Parks and the Epsom Derby in June with an overnight stay. Paul Smith is also he's already qualified for Henley, so he's already going to be able to put on his black tie as well. So that's good. And Sandra Forbes, who I mentioned before, has reached the steamy heights of 100 plus. She's got 100 plus come, and she's a mini owner. So we can also celebrate David Thexton, who's been promoted to senior team leader. He also won the Utility Warehouse weekend in December, which qualified him for a nice break in London. And he's also going to the Epsom Derby with us in June, because we're going as well. And going on from that, Jeff, as I mentioned, is taking me to the Epsom Derby because I took him a few years ago. So he's taking me, and it's my birthday. So anybody that's going to be there will be able to celebrate my birthday with me. And he's also qualified for the Maldives. Heather, I've got a long list of things that you've qualified for. Heather is a 200 plus club, so she's qualified to drive the Porsche Boxster if she wants to. She's also qualified for Henley already, Amsterdam, the Epsom Derby, and she'll be going to enjoy a few cocktails in the Maldives. Everybody can do this. There are lovely incentives for everybody if you want to. So thank you, everybody, and well done with all your achievements.
Thank you very much, Liz. Thank you. Okay, I think really and truly we can wrap up this evening. The next one that we will have is on Monday, the 21st of March. Yes, that is the day after Express Day. So seriously, power up. Sorry. So a seriously good time to join us, and thanks very much for the group that have joined us from Cheshire. I know Jen put into their group, so we've got a few extras in today, which has been great. And you'll certainly be welcome to join us again the day after Power Up, and please make sure that you are all there. Come and say hello to me if you see me there. I'm there on both days. So is Liz. Okay, cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah, bye everybody. Lovely to see you all, and thanks again, Stephen.
Thanks for having me, and I'll see you all at Power Up.
See you at Power Up.
Bye.
Bye.